Israelites had just come out of the land of Goshen, and compared to where they were in the desert, life was easier back there. The food was readily accessible, they had put down roots, there was a community, and you leave all of that ease, even though they were in bondage and enslaved, you leave all of that ease and come to this. And you don't know where you're going, and you're just doing it day by day, and the sand, the desert wants to kill you. And it makes sense why the Israelites would have struggled in their faith and challenged Moses, like, why'd you bring us out here? Why'd you bring us out here to die? Slavery and bondage was easier than this. It was better than this. And they just didn't have a different perspective. So being out here in this, I understand why they were struggling. God has led them out and God has delivered them, but they have nothing. They have to learn to rely on Him for their daily food. They have to learn to rely on Him for direction, for provision. And being out here, there's nothing they can do on their own. They're not going to put down roots here. They're living a nomadic life, and they left roots. And so they're just living in this in-between space, which is so hard to do, wrestling with whether God's going to fulfill the last part of His promise to take them to a land of rest, because this is not it. Everybody wanders through deserts in their life. They just do, where they get into this in-between space and it seems like there's no joy and there's no happiness. They can't see one foot in front of them. They can't see what's coming the next day. And they have to learn to rely on God every single day, every step along the way. And those seasons come and go, and we don't know how long those seasons are going to be. For some people, it's a couple of days or a couple of hours. For some people, they go into these deserts that may stretch their whole lives. But what the Exodus teaches us is that God's a God of deliverance, and there is life. There's life on the other side, there's hope on the other side, and while you're in the desert, there's still provision. God's with you through that desert. Even though you might not see it or understand what He's doing, He's operating and still saving you. He's still giving you life and sustaining you.
Then the Lord said to Moses, "Behold, I am about to rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a day's portion every day, that I may test them, whether they will walk in my law or not." The people of Israel ate manna till they came to the border of the land of Canaan.
The camels, they're beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What is on the nose of this one?
And yes, no friend carries fee.
Because he wipes his brother.
Okay, I wondered if that's what that was. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. What is life like living in the desert out here?
بعيد عن الميكروبات، بعيد عن الزحام، روقان، طبيعة، عيشة طبيعية.
Yeah, very solitary.
نعم.
Yeah.
هذا حال.
But very hard too, because you have such heat and cold.
نعم.
How do you think the desert changes people? If you come here, how does it change you?
تغير بتطلعك من معيشة المدن والزحام وزحام الشغل وضغط على المخ. اوكي.
Can I ride?
مش على هيك. اوكي.
God chose this empty and solitary place to help His people clear their minds and break the cords that still tied them to Egypt. When they arrived at Kadesh Barnea, God sent 12 spies into the Promised Land. But 10 of them lacked faith and convinced the people to rebel. So the Lord sent the Israelites back into the wilderness for 40 years. 40 years. That's a long time to be lost, wandering, looking for direction. 40 years. It was necessary to remove doubt and worry and replace it with faith. We're all wandering in the wilderness at times in our life, stumbling, tripping over ourselves as we look for a way out of our sin and idolatry. But if we allow God to use that time in the wilderness to build our character, to humble us, to teach us to fully depend on Him, if we follow His direction, He'll lead us out and make clear the path we need to follow.